There are kids in this world who are different. Special. In this episode, I'll be breaking down the 25th episode of 6 Minutes Season 4, piece by piece. Well, hello, Review Pop listeners, it's your host, Landon Mueller. Now, we are here today to talk about episode 25 of 6 Minutes Season 4, called Out on the Beach for a Mutant vs. Bot Fight. And I think the title reveals a lot about this week's episode. Casey being the mutant and Adam being the bot. Also, I think there's a lot of emotion in this episode, and I definitely get the chills listening to Brynleigh and Kady speak their minds. And just revisiting Brynleigh's house brought back so many memories for me, because I totally did not see that coming. At this point in the season, we're going to see a lot of predictions roll in, because we kind of know where the story is going. And Kady and Brynleigh's relationship will play a big role in that. But without further ado, let's get straight into this episode.
Really, kid? Is that how you want to play this?
What do you want from me?
It's not what I want. It's what Jude wants. A gateway to the past. And you're going to give that to him.
I think everybody is on Penn's side in this situation because he was forced into it. He didn't choose to lead the life he's living, but he's making the best of it. He has a great friend, and he knows the decisions he'll have to make in order to protect her. I think one thing that we like to bring up a lot is how convincing Jude is. Adam is so confident that he is the best partner in the world, and yet he can't track him. I think Jude put up block in his programming to prevent him from finding out his identity. But soon enough, Adam will get suspicious. I think we'll start to see disagreements between Adam and Jude, especially if the prototypes come into play.
Not yet, but in about 20 years. Until it burned down. Burns down.
Oh. Sorry.
Thanks.
Gotta be honest, you don't seem like the type to grow up in a place like this.
As said in the intro, I totally did not see this scene coming. This scene feels like a poem, you know? Visiting a place you once loved. So I think there's a possibility that we could visit other iconic 6 Months locations throughout the season. And also, this scene is a great callback to Holiday's reaction to Brynleigh's house. If you remember, in Season 1, Cyrus, Holiday, and Casey snuck into Brynleigh's house, and they were shocked to see how simple it was. They expected to see maids and butlers, but instead they were greeted with animal heads. This just goes to show that you can't always assume something, about somebody based solely off their personality.
Your in-laws
Please don't do that.
had already died by 1989, so that means he lives here alone right now. Doesn't look like anyone's home. Dad started working on the pipeline when he was a teenager.
Right after this clip is over, Kady says sounds like a hard life, and she couldn't be more right. Joe Pasternak has lived a very difficult life, and yet he never gave up on the people he loves. Everyone has a different lifestyle, but I think Joe's is great. You can just hear how much Brynleigh misses her father, and being in their old house probably brings back so many memories for her. I'm really curious to hear the younger Mr. Pasternak, because I'm not sure if his personality is different. On one hand, I don't think Brynleigh will blatantly say who she is, but maybe Joe will be able to figure it out. Who's to say?
So, what happened after it burned down? Where'd you go?
The Anders family took me in. Dr. and Mr. A became like second parents to me. Honestly, I wish I could go knock on their door right now.
In that scene, I felt like I was revisiting Season 2. We've heard Brynleigh say before that Monica was like a mother to her, the only one she ever knew. And that's because she put so much faith into Brynleigh. They relied on each other time after time again, and experienced life through the lens of a movie. As listeners, we experience everything the characters do, so it's hard to see them split apart like this. Also, the iconic music cue fits so well with this scene. I really feel the characters' emotions, and what's especially sad is that people's houses do burn down. This is something that, people actually face.
Dr. and Mr. Anders, I saw them in Berlin after you and Cyrus took off.
You saw them and you didn't tell me?
I got distracted. I had to find you.
Yeah, I was wondering when that would come around. Thankfully, James and Monica got their memory back and are looking for them. But still, you could see why Brynleigh would be upset. Brynleigh put her trust into Kady time after time again, and now she feels like she's been, stabbed in the back. They were just starting to become friends, but now it's as if none of that matters. I think back to the episode in the karaoke bar. Both girls were genuinely proud of one another. I think Kady feels guilty. Of course, she makes excuses, but she wasn't trying to hurt Brynleigh. She's been through a lot, so I can actually believe she forgot.
Once we get Cyrus back, we can—
We aren't doing anything. I'll find Cyrus and his parents myself.
Come on, Brynleigh.
Don't follow me, Kady. I need to clear my mind.
Outside?
As said in Rewind, both girls are right in their own way, but I think Kady feels hurt. For once in her life, she felt like she was actually making a difference,
that she could actually help Cyrus.
She thought she could talk to Brynleigh and tell her what she was going through, but now it's as though she's being left in the dust. As we'll see in the cliffhanger, there's a small part of Brynleigh that does want to help Kady. Sure, she made a mistake, but will that matter in the long run? Kady has been through so much with Brynleigh, and she'll need her to help save Cyrus.
Step on the board, Pen. Now. Time's up.
I really hate it when you bother my friends, Adam.
Casey.
It's such an amazing scene, and once again it brings me back to Season 2.
Casey is as determined as possible, and Adam won't get in her way. I said in the last episode that I wasn't sure if Casey would come back for Pen, but I'm glad she did. It's such a great callback to the warehouse showdown at Neverland. I think the reason that Casey is able to face Adam is because of her new Zap Zap tricks, as mentioned in the first episode of Season 3. Casey has learned a lot since, the last time she faced Adam.
So it should come as no surprise that she did so well.
Figured I'd add one to the bunch, explaining why I need to leave.
Brynleigh made it seem like she didn't want to see her again, but as she said, she just needed to cool off.
Hadn't Kady been there for Brynleigh, she still would have been stuck in Berlin, Germany. As for Kady, she wouldn't have had anyone to confide in after learning the truth about her parents.
I'd also like to point out the great pencil sound design.
I could just see Kady writing that letter, and the fact that Kady wrote a letter for Brynleigh shows that she's not heartless. She could have just left, but instead, she tried to make the situation lighter by writing a letter.
She didn't abandon me back then. She had no choice. And I can't leave her either.
Right, so Brynleigh said before that she's almost always right, but
maybe she was too quick to pass judgment on Kady. Now she doesn't want to follow in the same footsteps of her mother by leaving Kady, but instead she wants to support her. Even still, she may be too late. Kady's already made up her mind, and she's under the impression that Brynleigh doesn't want to see her anymore. On another note, the sound design of the ATV is great. Going on a quick ride is totally something Brynleigh would do.
Just hold my letter right in your mouth like that, so Brynleigh will see it.
Bye, Brynleigh.
great cliffhanger, but also a sad one because I've definitely become a supporter of Kady.
Sure, she's not always the nicest person in the room, but
she has the best intentions.
Her life was chosen for her, and yet she still values others. I'm curious to see Brynleigh's reaction to the letter. She'll definitely feel guilty, but will do her best to help Kady.
Until next time, this is Landon saying peace, love, and time travel.